Hello, my name is Tabitha Swanson, and in this video, I'd like to talk about the current and upcoming convergence between the virtual world and the real world.
During this talk, I will not have many answers to questions, but rather present ideas to think about. We're at a stage of intense change. Our lives are merging with technology more than ever before, and the concepts of identity and choice will become ever more abstract as we progress into the future.
I think we've already made strides in the concept of freedom from physical entities to virtual identities. On many platforms, we're able to engage to a high degree with others while being able to present ourselves in the ways we choose. For gamers, using digital avatars is not a new concept. But with virtual reality becoming more popular and environments like VR chat popping up, we're finding these experiences to be more immersive than ever before. While the person behind a virtual avatar still retains their memories and experiences, what is the shift within their mind space when they can present themselves in a form that's not their own in the physical world? Not only with features of other humans, but in a post-human form.
If you could choose to look any way you could possibly imagine, how would you look? The choice is almost overwhelming, but something beautiful about our virtual form is that you can change it instantly with the click of a button. I want you to take a moment and think about who you would be if you no longer had your physical features. While they have helped shape you, what is your essence without them? Society has given definitions to these features and we've been trained to understand them to mean certain things. Taking away these definitions of identity may help to challenge people to re-examine their currently held belief systems.
There have always been systems of control. Social, political, and economic. One important question to think about is how will bodies of power try to exert power over our expression and presentation of ourselves in this virtual space? If we look at Instagram, we can already see a huge shift in art and self-representation. Instagram has its own autonomous censorship policies which dictate what is allowed and not allowed on the platform. The problem is that this space limits the spectrum of identification and exploration allowed with self-expression and with art. One example are nipples. With specifically femme and non-binary nipples being banned, it is targeting certain demographics and censoring them more. This is blatantly femmephobia.
Some would say, just don't use the platform. The problem with this is that Instagram has almost become too big to fail. Many artists and creatives use this platform as their portfolio and to get work. If they do not adhere to the censorship rules, they can have their accounts suspended, or even get deleted from Instagram. And if you're not on Instagram, some would ask if you even exist. As we continue to move further into living online through our digital selves, what else will be censored? In some countries, even talking about certain topics can get you jailed and potentially killed. While being deleted from Instagram is the extent of Instagram's power over us now, how will other disobedience be penalized in the future?
Class structures have also existed for much of humankind's existence. They are a huge part of power dynamics today and will continue to the virtual world. Within many virtual spaces, those willing to invest real money have access to different characters, clothing, spaces, and other items. More importantly, what will virtual healthcare look like in the future? And how will virtual education continue to evolve? What will digital citizenship look like and what will access to these citizenships require?
Exploring different identities allows us to open doors to new experiences. It allows people to more easily explore gender identity in a different and somehow more immediate way. By allowing people to more easily present themselves as they wish in that moment to themselves and others around them, we're able to unlock new gateways to empathy and relate to each other in ways that were harder to access before. Some questions that I look forward to understanding with time are: how will these representations extend beyond the current human spectrum of characteristics, and what will the new in-vogue aesthetics be? What will tastemakers look like? We can only wait and see.
Going from the digital self back to the physical self, how will we bring the experiences we have in the virtual realm back into our real lives? Can we even call the physical world the real world anymore? How will traumatic experiences work there? Will they be as affecting, or will we become more desensitized over time? Many people have invalidated experiences online because they believe them to be abstracted and somehow less real than those in the physical world. But as the virtual world becomes more immersive, these experiences will become just as, and possibly more penetrating than the physical world.
Our data is being recorded at every turn. The data of our faces are owned by companies like FaceApp, and our voices are owned by things like Lyrebird. Facebook already has us classified into personality types, but what about when they can replicate those personalities? When reduced to nothing more than code, how accountable will we feel if there are replicated versions of ourselves in the digital world that can look, speak, and act just like us? For those of us who've seen deepfakes, we know this concept has already started to become a reality.
In short, there are so many things we cannot predict at this point because we're encountering situations that we don't currently have answers to. Living more fully through our virtual selves gives us an opportunity to explore experiences, empathy, and self-discovery more than ever before. We do need to stay vigilant of the inevitable, that corporations will try to take advantage of us and exert their own systems of control within these environments. To counter this, we need to stay informed about these topics and push for things like corporate transparency, better data protection laws, compensation for our data, and open source platforms. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk, and I'm looking forward to meeting you online.